Hello, today we'll be talking about Cubone. Its previous BYC dates are June 9th, 1996, March 31st, 1999, January 19th, 2002, November 9th, 2004, August 31st, 2007, June 21st, 2010, April 11th, 2013, January 31st, 2016, November 21st, 2018, and September 11th, 2021. Cubone is one of the most memorable Pokemon due to its backstory about losing its mother. I most remember it in the Gen 1 games and their remakes, where it finds its mother's spirit in the Pokemon Tower. Anyway, let's get into the Bulbapedia article. Hello and welcome to the Bulbapedia section of the video. Today we'll be talking about Cubone, the lonely Pokemon, whose number is 104. This is what it looks like. Type is ground, abilities Rockhead or Lightning Rod. Battle armors and hidden ability, gender ratios 50-50. Catch rate is 190 or 35.2%. Breeding is egg group monster, hatch time 20 cycles. Height is 1'4" or 0.4 meters. Weight is 14.3 pounds or 6.5 kilograms. Base experience yield is 87 the first 4 gens and 64 in 5 plus. Leveling rate is medium fast. EV yield is 1 in defense, shape is that, footprint is that. Pokedex color is brown and base friendship is 70. Cubone is a ground type Pokemon introduced in Gen 1. It evolves into Marowak starting at level 28. In Alola, Cubone evolves to Alolan Marowak when leveled up at night starting at level 28. Biology, Cubone is a small bipedal dinosaur-like reptilian Pokemon with a light brown hide that covers most of its body except for its cream-colored belly. 2 small claws, 1 on each hand, serve as its thumbs, and 1 large nail on each foot makes up its toes. It has 2 small spikes on its back and a short tail on its head. Cubone wears the skull of its dead mother as a helmet. Because of this, much of its actual face has never been seen except for its triangular black eyes and a small area surrounding them. The skull has 2 rounded horns on the top of its head and a tooth-like point on the lower sides. Under the skull, Cubone has a brown snout. The small Cubone survives only through the immense skill it possesses in wielding the bone it carries as a weapon. It's called a lonely Pokemon because of its tendency to keep to itself and avoid social situations. Due to the trauma caused by the death of its mother, Cubone will often weep at night in mourning of its mother. When Cubone cries, the skull that it wears on its head vibrates and emits a plaintive and mournful sound. On the night of a full moon, the cries are said to be especially terrible. Cubone seems to recognize its mother in the full moon, and so it howls with a particular sadness. Its cries attract Mandibuzz, a natural predator. It is said a Cubone will evolve into Marowak once it comes to terms with its mother's death. It should say comes to terms. As mentioned in Pokemon Sleep, Cubone is known to cry while sleeping. Aww. It is theorized that Cubone's dreams are about its deceased mother. Aww. The dreams Cubone have make it cry. Ugh. But crying makes it stronger, I guess? Sure. Cubone lives in rocky areas, usually on mountains or in caves. It also once inhabited the Pokemon Tower in Lavender Town, where deceased Pokemon were buried and mourned. Cubone and its evolved form, Marowak, are the only known Pokemon capable of learning the moves Bone Club and Bone Meringue. Cubone and Marowak are also the only known Pokemon capable of using the Thick Club item. In Gen 2 and 3, Bone Rush was another one of their signature moves. Evolution. Cubone evolves into Marowak. In Alola, it evolves into Alolan Marowak. So you can see that here. Cubone, Marowak, Alolan Marowak. You can see it's a fire ghost, so it's got the fire inside and the ghost outside. Game data, NPC appearances. Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Fire Red, and Leaf Green. An orphaned Cubone appears in the care of Mr. Fuji. It lost its mother, a Marowak, while she was defending her charge from Team Rocket. Aww. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. The same orphaned Cubone plays an expanded role in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, where it is kidnapped by Archer after wandering from Lavender Town. After being rescued by the player from Team Rocket hideout, it returns to Pokemon Tower, where it helps the player and Trace calm its mother's spirit. Trace later adopts Cubone into his party, motivating himself to become stronger to stop Team Rocket and avenge Marowak. Cubone later evolves under Trace's ownership. Aww. Pokedex entries in Red and Blue. Because it never removes its skull helmet, no one has ever seen this Pokemon's real face. Yellow wears the skull of its deceased mother. Its cries echo inside the skull and come out as a sad melody. Aww. Stadium always wears the skull of its deceased mother on its head and never shows its face. It cries mournfully in the moonlight. In Gen 2 and Gold, if it is sad or lonely, the skull it wears shakes and emits a plaintive and mournful sound. Silver, it always wears the skull of its dead mother, so no one has any idea what its hidden face looks like. Crystal, it lost its mother after its birth. It wears its mother's skull, never revealing its true face. Stadium 2 is just gold again. Generation 3 in Ruby and Sapphire. Cubone pines for the mother it will never see again. Seeing a likeness of its mother in the full moon, it cries. Stains on the skull the Pokemon wears are made by the tears it sheds. Emerald, it pines for the mother it will never see again. Seeing a likeness of its mother in the full moon, it cries. The stains on the skull it wears are from its tears. Fire Red, it wears the skull of its dead mother on its head. When it becomes lonesome, it is said to cry loudly. Leaf Green is red and blues again. In Gen 4, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, when it thinks of its dead mother, it cries. Its crying makes the skull it wears rattle hollowly. Heart Gold and Soul Silver, their Gold and Silver counterparts. The Gen 5 Pokedex entries are Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum's entry. In Gen 6, X is Fire Red's entry. Y's is the Silver entries. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are its Ruby and Sapphire counterpart. Gen 7 Sun, when it thinks of its deceased mother, it weeps loudly. Mandibuzz, that hear its cry will attack it from the air. Moon, the skull it wears on its head is that of its dead mother. According to some, it will evolve when it comes to terms with the pain of her death. Ultra Sun, at night it weeps loudly for its dead mother, but those cries only attract its natural enemy, Mandibuzz. Ultra Moon, it wears its mother's skull on its head, so no one knows what its bare face looks like. However, it's clear that it's always crying. The Let's Go games, that entry is Yellow's entry. Gen 8 Sword, when the memory of its departed mother brings it to tears, it cries echo mournfully within the skull it wears on its head. Shield, this Pokemon wears the skull of its deceased mother. Sometimes Cubone's dreams make it cry, but each tear Cubone sheds makes it stronger. Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, their Diamond Pearl counterpart. Cubone in the Alola Pokedex. Game locations. Side game locations. In events, held items, Pokemon caught in Gen 1 must be traded to a Gen 2 game in order for a held item to appear. So red, blue, and yellow, you get a berry 100% of the time. Gold, silver, and crystal, you get a thick club 2% of the time. Fire Red, Leaf Green, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, X, Y, Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, and Ultra Moon, you get a thick club 5% of the time. In Sword and Shield, with the expansion pass, you get thick club 5% of the time. Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, you get a thick club 5% of the time. Stats, base stats, HP 50, attack 50, defense 95, special attack 45, special defense 50, speed 35 for a total of 325. This Pokemon's special base stat in Gen 1 was 40. Pokethon stats, type effectiveness, damaged normally by normal fighting, flying, ground, bug, ghost, steel, fire, psychic, dragon, dark, and fairy. Weak to water, grass, and ice for double, immune to electric, resistant to poison, and rock for half. Notes, if this Pokemon is given a ring target, and its ability is not Lightning Rod, the effectiveness of electric-type moves is 1, so we go from 0 to 1. Learn set by leveling up. 1, you get Mud Slap and Growl, 4, Tail Whip, 8, False Swipe, 12, Headbutt, 16, Retaliate, 20, Fling, 24, Stomping Tantrum, 29, Bone Rush, 32, Focus Energy, 36, Endeavor, 40, Bone Meringue, 44 Thrash, and 48 Double Edge. Buy TM/TR in Sword and Shield. TM00, you get Mega Punch, 1 Mega Kick, 3 Fire Punch, 5 Thunder Punch, 15 Dig, 16 Screech, 21 Rest, 22 Rock Slide, 23 Thief, 24 Snore, 25 Protect, 27 Icy Wind, 31 Attract, 32 Sandstorm, 34 Sunny Day, 39 Facade, 40 Swift, 43 Brick Break, 48 Rock Tomb, 59 Fling, 76 Round, 79 Retaliate, 81 Bulldoze, 94 False Swipe, 97 Brutal Swing, 98 Stomping Tantrum. For TR00, you get Swords Dance, 1 Body Slam, 2 Flamethrower, 5 Ice Beam, 6 Blizzard, 7 Low Kick, 10 Earthquake, 13 Focus Energy, 15 Fire Blast, 20 Substitute, 26 Endure, 27 Sleep Talk, 31 Iron Tail, 35 Uproar, 46 Iron Defense, 67 Earth Power, 74 Iron Head, 76 Stealth Rock. In Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, TM1 Focus Punch, 11 Sunny Day, 13 Ice Beam, 14 Blizzard, 17 Protect, 23 Iron Tails, 26 Earthquake, 28 Dig, 31 Brick Break, 32 Double Team, 35 Flamethrower, 37 Sandstorm, 38 Fire Blast, 39 Rock Doom, 40 Aerial Ace, 42 Facade, 44 Rest, 45 Attract, 46 Thief, 54 False Swipe, 56 Fling, 58 Endure, 75 Swords Dance, 76 Stealth Rock, 80 Rock Slide, 82 Sleep Talk, 83 Bulldoze, 87 Swagger, 90 Substitute, 96 Strength, 98 Rock Smash, and 100 Rock Climb. By breeding in Sword and Shield, this group gives you Ancient Power, this group gives you Belly Drum, this group gives you Curse, this group gives you Detect, this group gives you Double Kick, this group gives you Leer, Lapras gives you Perish Song, and this group gives you Skull Bash. In Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, you get Ancient Power. from this group, Belly Drum from this group gives you Curse, this group gives you Detect, this group gives you Double Kick, this group gives you Iron Head, this group gives you Leer, Lapras gives you Perish Song, this group gives you Screech, and this group gives you Skull Bash. By tutoring, in the expansion pass for Sword and Shield, you get Scorching Sands. It's a special ground type move. Its power is 70, its accuracy is 100, its PP is 10. By transfer from another generation, in 3 through 7 you get Aerial Ace, 1, you get Bide, that doesn't work anymore, 1 through 7 you get Bone Club, that doesn't work anymore, 1 you get Bubble Beam, 4 you get Captivate, that doesn't work anymore, 5 through 7 you get Chip Away, that doesn't work anymore, 6 and 7 you get Confide, 1 and 3 you get Counter, 1 through 7 you get Double Team, 2 and 3 you get Dynamic Punch, 5 through 7 you get Echoed Voice, 1 you get Fissure, 3, 4, 6, and 7 you get Focus Punch, 2 through 7 you get Frustration, that doesn't work anymore, 4 you get Fury Cutter, 2 through 7 you get Hidden Power, that doesn't work anymore, 5 and 6 you get Incinerate, 4 through 7 you get Knockoff, 1 and 3 you get Mimic, 4 you get Natural Gift, that doesn't work anymore, 6 you get Power Up Punch, 1 through 7 you get Rage, that doesn't work anymore, 2 through 7 you get Return, that doesn't work anymore, 2, 5, and 6 you get Rock Smash, 3, 4, and 6 you get Secret Power, that doesn't work anymore, 1, 3, and 7 you get Seismic Toss, 5 through 7 you get Smackdown, 1, 2, 5, and 6 you get Strength, 1 you get Submission, 2 through 7 you get Swagger, 1 you get Takedown, 1 through 7 you get Toxic, and 1 you get Water Gun. TCG only moves, you get Tackle on this card, Side Game Data, all this, yep, okay. Costumes in Pokemon Go, you get the Kempasuchil crown. I don't know what that is. I feel like it's probably related to the Day of the Dead, given I think I've seen those things and related images to that event, so, and of course it's the skull, so it would make sense. Evolution data, you got Cubone, level 28. Outside of Alola, you get this one. Level 28, in Alola at night, you get this one, Alolan Marowak. Sprites, okay, yeah, you can see it's got the basics early on here in the first couple gens. You can see a lot more obvious spikes than we would get later on. They become a little bit more subtle. Yep. And then, yeah, we get all that. The hole is much smaller on the skull there. It's a little bit bigger when we get to red and blue. It's a little bit different shape, of course. It's, again, a little bit bigger in yellow. This is much closer to what we have now. These things are a little bit more back there, I guess. This one doesn't work with that one because this one's green for some reason. This is brown and brown. I guess it's probably white with like a brown shading. Yes. This is sort of a green, also more clearly white. The hole is obviously bigger. Cracks are a little bit different. Same with this one. This is actually a proper back sprite, which is very rare. That's kind of just a side one. Get to see the spikes still are on here, and then here. They kind of disappear on the front spike for some reason. Yeah, that's a little bit different, but basically the same all around. Okay. Gen 3, we get the proper coloration. You know, the belly, the lighter thing, and then the sort of white skull, I guess. It's more of a different green. That's more of a yellow. It's maybe more of a peach colored spikes. So then get these in the back. Still can't really see them very well. The front there. It's a little bit more prominent in Fire Reds, the spike. So at least this back, this first spike. Even though it's much less, or much more subtle in this one. The bone, it kind of changes a little bit as time goes on. It's got, yeah. It generally, though, will keep this sort of basic bone shape moving forward, I would say. Yeah, much more prominently, with it like being tapering at the end there. This is more of a tan, belly, kind of stays the same. This is a different shade of green. The hole is bigger, at least on the back sprite. These are much more closer and up higher, maybe helping to make the illusion that it doesn't have them for some reason in the front sprite. Hard gold, yeah, you got all that, okay. Gen 5, not much different. You get a full back sprite. You can see they're kind of more in the middle on this one. Also kind of more facing in the back, like this actual back sprite. The Gen 6, these are a little bit more prominent again. It's a lot harder to hide the of them in the 3D models, the spikes. Yep, it's just lighter shade of everything, as usual. Yep. See them here. Better quality ones in the Let's Go games. Yep, and home. Got these. Yep. Okay. In the anime, Cubone in the anime. This. Yep. Pokedex entries in the Pikachu short. The first one. This is our first time having an entry in a short. Source is Dexter, which begs the question why Ash's Pokedex isn't just called Dexter. I mean, in this case, you don't actually see the Pokedex itself. So maybe that's the thing. It's like it's an overarching narrator kind of thing here. So maybe that's the difference. I don't know. A ground-type Pokemon, Cubone. Cubone has earned its classification as the lonely Pokemon from its usual attitude of caring only for itself. In What I Assume Is Journeys, episode 15, in Go's Rotom Phone, Cubone, the lonely Pokemon, a ground-type. Cubone wears a skull as a helmet concealing its face as it sheds tears for its long-lost mother. It cries loudly to express its loneliness. It also always carries a long, thick bone. Pokemon Origins, Cubone of Pokemon Origins, looking rather different than its typical anime portrayal. It's it's a very interesting decision to go that way. Cubone in A Ripple in Time. That's interesting. The Adventure of Snorlax and Cubone. I guess it's a main character in this. I guess it's a short. Interesting. Snorlax and Cubone and the Adventures of Snorlax and Cubone. That's cute. I kind of like that. It's kind of silly, this giant Pokemon, and this, I don't know. Just it's such a weird combination, but I love it. Yes. Okay. In the manga, Cubone and Pokemon Adventures, holding a Pokedex. That's cool. Probably giving it back to someone who lost it. That's pretty cool. Got all this, and the TCG. Other appearances, Super Smash Bros. Brawl. In the Pokemon Stadium 2 stage, a Cubone can be seen on the ground terrain, standing atop the highest platform built into a rock. Dugtrio and Pokemon fossils can also be seen on the ground terrain. Trophy information. A lonely Pokemon. It wears its mother's skull as a helmet. For this reason, no one has ever seen its face. It sometimes sees its departed mother's face in the full moon, which causes it to grow sad and cry. The stains on the skull are tracks of its tears. When it cries, the skull shakes and emits a mournful sound. When it levels up, it evolves into Marowak. Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. It appears again on Pokemon Stadium 2. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate appears again on the same stage and as a spirit. The Detective Pikachu ones, we got the image up here. We'll be seeing this particular one. So this is saying basically that this is the only one. It's the only prominent one, but there's definitely a few more that are make much smaller cameos throughout Rhyme City. We'll see all of those today. Merchandise. Cubone was one of the first 4 Pokemon designs revealed when the Pokemon 151 brand was first announced. In the shirt design, Cubone's skull is in the center of the shirt with 2 thick clubs in crossing below it. Music. This is a list of music associated with Cubone in the Pokemon games. Oh, okay. In the Let's Go games, during the cutscene in which traces Cubone reunites with its mother, the song name is Cubone's Mother. Composition by Junichi Masuda, Go Ichinose, and Shota Kageyama. Arrangement by Shota Kageyama. Trivia. In the Pokemon Red and Blue Beta, Cubone was originally known as Orphan, a corruption of the word orphan based on its abandonment at birth. I am so glad they didn't go with that one. That'd be so sad. Cubone is Midori Harada's favorite Pokemon. Cubone is one of the Pokemon that appears in the Pokemon 151 clothing line. Kind of redundant, but okay. Cubone is the only Pokemon that can evolve into a dual-type Pokemon that doesn't share any types with its evolution. A Japanese trading card game, which features Cubone using the move Growl, partially reveals Cubone's face. So, you got that here. So you got, yeah, the face here. So that's pretty cool. We get to see more. We get to see that it has fangs. That's pretty interesting. While Alolan Marowak shares the Rock Head ability with Cubone, Cubone is unable to retain this ability after evolving in the Alola region. This is because Cubone's Rock Head is its first ability, while Alolan Marowak's Rock Head is its hidden ability. It shares this trait with Tyrogue and Hitmontop's ability Steadfast. In the second episode of Pokemon Origins, a mother Marowak is shown protecting her child, Cubone, from Team Rocket. Even though the Marowak is alive, the Cubone is still wearing a skull. Cubone are born wearing the skulls. So that's in reference to how if you hatched one, it would be wearing the skull. That's, this is more lore than than actuality. It's just something you gotta accept, I guess. Like the various other things, like the Vulpix tails and stuff. Like there's a lot of those things in this, especially this probably original one where they didn't think about the concept of breeding because it wasn't a thing yet. So they made this rich lore. Origin, Cubone was created out of the thought of how sad it would be for a Pokemon to die. Wow. In its design, it is reptilian in nature and seems to be loosely based on bipedal dinosaurs. It could also be based on primitive cultures that wore bones for decoration and used them for weapons. The use of its bone as a boomerang and as a weapon at the same time seems to be a reference to the boomerang's original use for hunting in indigenous Australian cultures. Name origin, Cubone is a combination of cub and bone. That makes sense. Kara may be derived from kara onomatopoeia for light chattering, contrasting with that gara onomatopoeia for heavy clattering in Marowak's Japanese name. In other languages, references see also. Yeah, let's move on. Now let's watch Cubone's first scene in the anime. Hello and welcome to the anime portion of the video. Today we're watching episode 9, The School of Hard Knocks. The plot isn't really relevant for this because its first scene is in the, who's that Pokemon or whatever.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Cubone!
Cubone, bone.
Yeah. Okay. And that's it. Let's move on. Now let's watch Cubone scenes in Detective Pikachu. Hello and welcome to the Detective Pikachu portion of the video, or as I like to call it, Detective Cubone, as this is only the frames with Cubone. This is Tim Goodman, the main character, and his friend, who has tricked him into trying to catch a Cubone here. Yes. Yeah, so you can see the Cubone there crying.
There was a full moon last night, and my mom heard it crying its eyes out. For you.
Hey, Cubone. What's
So
up, buddy? You know,
Pokeball, he's about to capture him. She said something offensive.
Jack, throw the ball.
Now he's throwing the Pokeball at the but it didn't work, and it was released. Yes, and
I'm not destroyed!
yeah, and so, okay. So what they were talking about was how, like, Pokemon needed to choose them to be their partner or whatever, and he just got hit by Cubone's, I think Boomerang is probably what it was, or some similar, bone attack that he chose. And so now we've cut to much later in the film. Tim Goodman has found out that his father has died, so he's come to Rhyme City, a city where humans and Pokemon can coexist. You can kind of see that there. There's going to be a few Cubone around the city here, so that's one of them. And he's going to his dad's apartment to clean up, finish up with that, so now we've cut to a little bit later in the film. Tim has met Detective Pikachu, a talking Pikachu. He's been attacked by Apom after they've sucked in something called the R-gas, which makes Pokemon go crazy. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a Cubone right here. Yeah. And so he's trying to warn everybody about the crazy Apom, but they're back to normal now, so everyone here will think he's crazy.
Because I could use a coffee.
So now we've cut to a little bit later in the scene here. That's Detective Pikachu, and it's been revealed that he was the detective partner of his father, Harry Goodman. And so the Cubone's over here, you can see. I guess I don't know if it's running the stand or it's just a customer at the stand. I can't really tell. Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, so they're gonna go get coffee because of this huge revelation.
Coffee. Yeah. Come on.
Yep. Okay, so now we've cut to much later in the film. Tim has tracked the R-gas down to this underground Pokemon fight club, since Pokemon battles are illegal in Rhyme City. There's a Cubone around, I think maybe here? I don't remember, but you'll see it much better in the next shot. Okay, well, that was such a fast shot. Okay, let's go back a little bit. So the Cubone is in this corner here for this shot. So now, okay, let's go back again. So, okay, what's happening here is, there's a parade happening in Rhyme City. We've cut to much later in the film. Tim and Detective Pikachu found out that Harry is not dead, and that they need to talk to Mewtwo, but Mewtwo was captured by who they believe to be Roger Clifford, the owner of the news, and the son of Howard Clifford, the founder of Rhyme City. And so Tim is telling Howard, Detective Pikachu split from Tim because Mewtwo showed him a vision where it seemed like he betrayed Harry. Tim has allied with a news intern, Lucy, who is trying to gonna talk to the mayor, trying to get help to report this huge story. Yes.
Hello.
So now she's trying to get an interview with the mayor. There's the Cubone. Okay, then we've cut to a little bit later in this scene here. So it's revealed that Howard was actually the one that captured Mewtwo, and he's using a device called the Neuralink to put his mind inside Mewtwo. So he's going to reveal his plan to merge humans and Pokemon using the R-Gas, which makes Pokemon go crazy. And Mewtwo can use his powers to merge humans and Pokemon. There's the Cubone. Yep, same. The Cubone.
But for all
there's
humanity.
Mewtwo and the Neuralink and Howard talking. So there's the gas from the balloons. So there's the Cubone in there. And there's a bunch of Cubone down there and stuff. Okay, so then now Pikachu is returned after finding a piece of evidence at the scene of the car crash that killed Harry. And so, this is the Cubone, obviously. But he's come back to this, mess of a city.
Tim!
Yes, okay, so now we've cut to much later. Oh dear. This scene, the plot has been undone. Tim has disconnected Howard from the Neuralink, freeing Mewtwo here. So the Cubone's in the background there. And so Tim is reuniting with Pikachu in this scene, yeah. So now Mewtwo is unmerging people, so you can see the Cubone there. Then, yeah, now we're in the credits here, so that's the wild one. Saw earlier. Yep. Again. And there it is again. And so there's in the spiral here, yeah. I hope you enjoyed. Let's move on. Now let's see why people love Cubone. Now let's look at fan art. Hello and welcome to the fan art section of the video. Nobody sent in fan art, so instead we're looking at DeviantArt fan art. For those of you not familiar with the series, what we do is we go through these images until we find an image that doesn't contain a Cubone. So here we've got Pizza Time by Rye Spirit. So it's this Cubone enjoying a slice of pizza with Typhlosion, and then there's a Pikachu in the background. Looks kind of like it's jealous of them. And there looks to be an original Game Boy. Here, that's kind of fun, and the pizza box has a Pokeball logo, that's kind of fun. There's a world map there, I don't know if it's like a tree house, or, looks like, yeah, it's like a tree house or a clubhouse or something. That's kind of fun. Then we got Cubone Unmasked by Fashion. There's a theory that Cubone is a baby Kangaskhan, which has no merit at all. Like, there's no actual evidence of that. And as you probably saw, if you watched the article section of the video, you saw that it doesn't really look like this under the mask, in that card that we saw in the article, so yeah, no, this is just silly. But it's a good piece of art anyway. It's a nice, like, they kind of make it look a little bit like it would work, but yeah. Then we've got Cubone by Splatter Parrot, and of course crying, which is sad. It's in the rain, yeah. Oh, then we've got Cubone and Marowak by Dav19. So yeah, we've got them as sort of humans, kind of being like tribal members. It's kind of cool, to see that, and how it. And there, like they had to make this like another skull like this one instead of just making it space, which makes sense. So I don't know if it's a mother and a daughter, or Well, probably not biologically related in any case, but you know, it could be, yeah, I don't know, or maybe sisters. I don't really know the story behind these characters. It could just be a fun little art with no relation, or it could be the same character grown up. I don't know. It's hard to tell. You know, I don't know. I'm sure it's in the description somewhere, probably, but I'm not gonna read that. So we're just gonna keep going. Then we got Cubone Rage by Ishmam. So it's crying. You know, so it's got a little tear in its eyes, but it's doing the move Rage. It's kind of cool. You know, it's very angry and stuff. Yeah. Then we got Jessie and Cubone by Kian Ame. So it's Jessie from Team Rocket and a shiny Cubone. I don't know if she ever had a shiny Cubone or if it's just like fun little fan art. Yeah, I don't know, but it's kind of cool, I guess. And we got Cubone by Earth Knight. So it's the sleeping Cubone. Very cute. Then we got Cubone by All 412. So it's cool looking art here of Cubone kind of looking up and yeah, very determined it looks, but yeah, very nice. Then we got Cubone and Marowak by Serg Coyote. We got a Cubone here and a Marowak here, so that's kind of cool. See them together, you know. Yeah. Cubone by Tiny Snail. It's kind of cute, stylized image here. It's mourning mourning its mother, probably. It's in the desert. Yeah, it's all sad. Yeah. Then we've got 104 Cubone and 105 Marowak by Stephen Andrew here. So 104, 105. So yeah, Cubone here looking up, and then Marowak, you know, being angry and determined. That's kind of fun. You know, the weakness versus the strength. I like that. Then we got Cubone by Das Nomo. So yeah, it's in the desert. It's a rack here, and I don't know. Maybe these are supposed to be cow skulls, or maybe they're supposed to be Marowak skulls. I'm not really sure what kind of. It was just kind of funny to see it on a coat rack like this. So I'm curious what's going on here. Then we got Cubone by Yuna Dragon. So of course it's crying. And this looks like a cemetery. That's kind of sad. Then we got Cubone by Pumphy. So of course it's at the grave of its mother with flowers and it's crying. And yeah. And we got Little Cubone by Corvu Stime. So it looks angry, determined and stuff. That's kind of cool. Like the painting style. It's very nice. I like the blue. Then we got Cubone by Blue Commodore. So, you know, another nice kind of painting, semi-stylized art. It's very good. This is not a Cubone, so we'll move on. Thanks to everyone who's submitted fan art. I won't be streaming tonight, so I need to wait until I talk about Snorlax before I can catch a Cubone. Well, but I'll get back to that later. Tomorrow I'll be talking about Marowak. As always, this is my proper outfit, and you'll see me tomorrow.